Bimal ji has also joined now.
Hi, Rajat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I would warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
yeah. Sir, आपका कैमरा सर आई थिंक उधर से ऑफ है शायद.
उधर से off है ना? Just a minute. Just allow
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Am I there
Yes.
now?
Yes. Yes. Now Bimal ji is also with us.
Okay.
So Bimal ji would be very glad to know that we all almost received 2,500 plus registrations, and
That's
we
great.
have with us 600 plus people right now who
That's
have
great.
already joined and waiting for you.
That's great.
So yeah. So to introduce Bimal ji first. So क्या बोलूं सर, मतलब आपके आपके लिए तो अल्फाज नहीं मिलते मेरे. फिर भी मैं कुछ 4 लाइनें बोलना चाहूंगा. So when I met
Please.
Bimal ji first time, I remember he said कि तुझसे तेरा मुझसे है जन्मों का, तेरे मुझसे है जन्मों का नाता, कोई यूं ही नहीं दिल लुभाता कोई. तो आई रिमेम्बर दोज लाइंस. तो उसके रिप्लाई में सर मैं जरूर बोलना चाहूंगा, महक उठा ये वेबिनार जब से आप पधारे हैं, महक उठाए वेबिनार जब से आप पधारे हैं, ऐसा एहसास होता है कि कई जन्मों से आप हमारे हैं.
Very well.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
so
Thank you very
and
much.
if you remember, you gifted this to me. So I still have this, and
Great.
yes, yes. So he is Bimal ji is one of my mentor, and mentor तो आप सबके लिए भी शायद होंगे, बट मेरे लिए बड़े भाई समान है. मैं उन्हें
So
बहुत
nice.
मानता हूँ. जितना भी जीएसटी आज जानता हूँ शायद इन्हीं की वजह से जानता हूँ.
So
एंड वन
nice.
ऑफ द मोस्ट हम्बल एंड काइंड हार्टेड पर्सन. बाकी ऑफिशियली तो सर मतलब आपके क्या इंट्रोडक्शन दे, एवरीबडी नोज यू वेल. So I think yeah, over to you. And to the audience, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for so your precious time, and please stay with us for the next 2 hours. And we assure you that you will enjoy a lot. Please, sir, over to you.
Thanks, Rajat. What a lovely introduction. आज जो तुमने गाना गाया ना, तेरा मुझसे है
पहले का नाता कोई.
पहले का नाता कोई.
हाँ जी.
ये गाना आज सुबह से कोई और भी गा रहा है. उसने मुझे 2-4 बार सुना भी दिया है.
अच्छा.
पता नहीं कोई इंसिडेंस है.
अच्छा.
तो कई बार अच्छा होता है, सुन के अच्छा होता है और अच्छा
हाँ जी.
लगता भी है.
हाँ जी. हाँ जी.
I'm thankful to each of the participants who are joining today on this particular webinar, which is mainly on reverse charge method. But let me at the outset, thanks to you and to Optotax for giving me this opportunity. And what a lovely introduction and the brief profile you have said. Within one line, you have concluded everything. Thanking each of the participants who are taking out their time and watching this webinar on RCM. Before I start, I would like to see that in a chat box that everyone is getting me, they are hearing me properly, my video is there, they are watching me properly. Can you say something in your chat box? Yes, it is going fine, so that I can start right away on reverse charge method. So Gurinder ji is there, Gurinder Pal Singh, he's saying, Raman Goel is saying, lot many guys are there, Bhagwati is there. So everyone now started now, saying something. Yes, 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 yes. All right, all right. So thank you very much to each one of you. Let me start. Before I start on technical point, I just want to pass on my deepest condolences to evergreen actor Rishi Kapoor and Irfan Khan yesterday. This is a great loss for the film industry, but great loss to every watchers, those who are watching movie. They were actor in their own excellency and capability. I admire both of them, Irfan Khan and Rishi Kapoor. My deepest condolences, and we wish and pray to the Almighty God for their soul rest in peace. So let me start with this positive note, and this is on reverse charge method. So what I will do today, audience, I'm sure you're having one paper and pen with you, which you should keep before you. And then what we would be doing, we would be discussing reverse charge method in holistic perspective. I will first give the brief background of reverse charge method in GST, and then I will touch base certain important issues in reverse charge method. I will take up then open issues. Then I will hand over to Rajat for his presentation on Optotax. And once he finishes his presentation, again, I will come back and discuss in detail the reverse charge notification and some of the entries which are very important. And at the same time, I will take your questions which you're going to ask me and you're looking for the answer. Whatever related question I'm getting with the topic, I will definitely respond back at the time when I'm delivering the topic. Nevertheless, last 15 minutes, I parked it, kept it only for question answer session. So whatever question you are willing and liking to ask on reverse charge method, would be my pleasure to give a reply back to you. So what you have to do, you have to walk the talk with me. You have to go all along with me. You have to really listen the provision carefully. You have to really get into that rhythm which I'm starting with, and then slowly and slowly we'll take it further. I'm going to make the technical discussion as well. I will make it practical for you, and we'll combine together to the best for your understanding and my deliberation. Let's start with the reverse charge method. See, if you look at GST law, or you can go back to pre-GST law, like under service tax. Generally, I'm using the term generally, the levy and chargeability is on supplier of goods or supplier of services. So there are two parties involved in any transaction. One is the supplier, another one is the recipient. Generally and normally, the levy is on supplier of goods or supplier of services, which is called forward charge method. I may be discussing a little bit background so that those who are listening first time or want to gain something, they can grasp the provision accordingly, and then we can take it to a little second level or third level of technical discussion. So I say generally and normally chargeability on supplier of goods or services, which is called forward charge method. What is the reverse charge? Just contrast. Section 2, subsection 98 of CGST Act says reverse charge method means the method wherein recipient of goods or services is supposed to discharge the GST liability. Meaning thereby, it's a recipient who will discharge the liability of GST. That is called reverse charge method. So it is going against the normal concept of forward charge, and in reverse charge is recipient who is liable. He is deemed that he is the person liable to pay tax and make the compliances of GST law and rules thereunder. So recipient is supposed to pay the liability. Now, when you look at recipient, and when you go to chargeable section, section 9 of CGST Act, section 5 of IGST Act. I'm reading section 9 of CGST Act to draw levy section for intra-state supplies within state. When supplier and place of supply both are in same state. When I'm going to section 5 of IGST Act, which is chargeable section for interstate supply, meaning thereby location of supplier and place of supply is in different state. So section 9 subsection 1 for intrastate, section 5 subsection 1 for interstate. This is a levy chargeable section. There are two sections which is very, very important. You may note down section 9 subsection 3 under CGST Act. Correspondingly, you can read under IGST under section 5 subsection 3. What the section says, Bimal, there will be specified goods or specified services. You can say notified goods or notified services for which recipient is liable to discharge GST liability under reverse charge method. So I said for notified goods and for notified services. So section 9 subsection 3, section 5 subsection 3 of IGST Act. Now you'd be interested to know, okay, sir, you said notified goods. Where from I can check what all goods are notified for reverse charge liability? There, only recipient will pay GST under reverse charge method. So before I answer, I want to check my audience, those who are watching me. If I pose this query to you, for notified goods under section 9 subsection 3, under which notification it is notified? Can I see in your chat box? Please. Can I see in your chat box? Yes, please. Which notification I must look at to find out notified goods for reverse charge liability? Yes, please. So I'm looking for the answer. Ashish Goyal has said, Manisha has responded. Okay. Lot many answer I'm getting. Vikas is responding. Jitendra is responding. Okay. All right. So I'm getting divergent answer now. See, before we wanted to start this presentation, webinar, Rajat was telling me, sir, why can't we start with the technical point? I said, Rajat, wait. You have to really check the acumen of my audience, whether really they know all the provision, basic provision, which is almost now 2 years plus in GST, because these are applicable from 1st July 2017. So Manish Hirani has also responded. Lot many guys are responding. I'm appreciating each one of you because you are responding because I'm asking you all. Now, those who have given the right answer and those who are giving wrong answer, kindly correct on that piece of paper so that after this today's webinar for 2 hours, you should feel like that you know much of the things about reverse charge method. For notified goods under reverse charge liability, you have to look at notification number 044/2017. 4/2017. So now this notification you must know. Since I posted this notification to you, my next question. Only for such notified goods, there is reverse charge liability and recipient has to discharge GST liability. For other than notified goods, let's say those goods are not notified, under reverse charge notification 4/2017, not notified, it is not falling under the notified goods for reverse charge liability, then the charge would be forward charge or reverse charge. Just write down in your this comment chat box, forward charge or reverse charge. Forward charge or reverse charge. Please write down. Karan has written a detailed notification number, but nevertheless, you please write down it would be forward charge or reverse charge. Best judgment. One participant is saying best judgment. Not only say it would be forward charge method. All right. Very well said. So this audience is a learned audience. I'm liking it. Next. Now section 9 subsection 3 also says for notified services, there will be reverse charge liability in the hands of recipient of service. Recipient has to discharge the GST liability. Please tell me which notification I should look at. To identify what all services are notified for reverse charge liability. Write the notification number. Avijit has written, Anand has written, everyone liking. Now Arun Kumar has given some wrong answer, and everyone is trying their best, putting whatever coming to their mind. All right, well done. It is 13/2017. 13/2017. So what I did that under section 9 subsection 3, if you read section 5 subsection 3 of IGST Act, so 9 subsection 3 CGST Act, section 5 subsection 3 IGST Act, there will be notified goods and notified services for reverse charge liability. And we have concluded for goods 4/2017 and for services 13/2017. Similarly, under IGST Act, for section 5 subsection 3, there is one notification which talks about these specified services are going to fall under reverse charge liability under IGST. Under IGST section 5 subsection 3. Tell me the notification number. I'm looking for, and why I'm saying so, I'm not checking your knowledge. Believe me, I'm not checking your knowledge. Rather, I'm preparing you that tomorrow, if you want to really do reverse charge by yourself, you would be knowing what all notification, what all relevant provision you must look at to grasp reverse charge liability. So still I haven't received a correct answer. Himani is writing, yes. Venkatesh has written, okay. So some of the guys are giving good answer, but I'm finding wrong answer also. So there's nothing wrong when we are learning. 10/2017. 10/2017. Those who are not able to answer or giving wrong answer, those who are giving right answer must cross-check 10/2017. Now, these are the notification I suggested to you. Very well, Gitesh, agreed and appreciated. So those who are giving right answer, my thumbs up to them. Those who are giving wrong answer, my 2 thumbs up to them, because they are learning first time. Okay, all right. I've said section 9 subsection 3. Now my question to all of you. Now you pause in the chat box and answer my question. Being notified goods or services, you may have 2 kind of supplier. One who is already registered but supplying notified goods or supplying notified services under reverse charge method. So you may be registered supplier, you are registered under GST, but you are supplying notified goods or notified services as per that notification 4/2017 or 13/2017 respectively. Now, if you are registered and registered supplier, will it going to be and continue to be reverse charge? This is my simple question. You are registered supplier supplying a notified goods or services. Since you are registered, will it continue to be reverse charge? That is my question. You say yes or no. So your answer would be Y or N, no. That's what I'm looking for. Tell me the answer now. If you are registered supplying notified goods or services, will it going to be yes? Perfect. So I'm getting mixed answer, but maximum are saying it continue to be reverse charge method. So registration, what is the thumb rule coming out now? Registration of supplier is not important. Registration of supplier is not important to determine reverse charge liability. If it is supply of notified goods or notified services, then it is going to be reverse charge method. Am I clear? Now move to section 9, subsection 4. I said I'm going to tell you the provision, then we'll start with a case study. Section 9, subsection 4 under CGST Act. Similarly, you look at section 5, subsection 4. This provision got a lot of hue and cry in the market. What is section 9, subsection 4 says? If you are a registered person, recipient rather, if you are a registered recipient in taxable territory, and you are receiving supplies of goods or services from unregistered supplier. So unregistered supplier supplying goods and services to registered recipient. Section 9, subsection 4 reverse charge method was applicable till 12th October 2017. And thereafter this provision kept in abeyance till 1st of February 2019. And later on this section got amended, and this amended section says this 9.4 going to be applicable only for specified class of taxable person, for specified goods or services when procured from unregistered supplier. So subsequently provision got changed from 1st February 2019. 9 subsection 4 is applicable only for specified class of taxable person, recipient, and only for specified goods or services when procured from unregistered supplier. Later this 9 subsection 4, one notification 7/2019 got issued effective from 1st of April 2019. So what are the reverse charge under section 9 subsection 4 stated? On or after 1st April 2019, you must be knowing that landlord and developer, builder, there was change in GST for affordable and non-affordable housing. For affordable housing, 1% with no ITC, 5% for non-affordable housing with no ITC. Now, this 7/2019 has put a condition for RREP project. That they have to procure minimum 80% from registered supplier. And this is to be calculated on financial year basis. Input and input services. If it is not purchased to that extent and there is a shortfall, then to the extent of shortfall, there would be reverse charge liability under section 9 subsection 4. If you purchase cement from unregistered supplier, then 28% GST rate. If you purchase capital goods from unregistered supplier, then the rate which is applicable on such capital goods will be applied for reverse charge liability under section 9 subsection 4, rate with notification 7/2019. So this is only going forward. It is only for the promoter who is a developer or builder to discharge the GST liability under reverse charge method. So I'm not going to discussion for real estate sector now. I'm just trying to draw your attention that this 9 subsection 4 now exists only for this real estate affordable housing project or non-affordable housing project, and wherein you are using this concessional rate, that the minimum criteria purchase from registered supplier in case shortfall reverse charge liability exists under section 9 subsection 4. And when I say reverse charge liability exists, even though your rate would be 1% for affordable housing, but if there is a shortfall in purchase from registered supplier, then that shortfall would be taxable at the rate of 18% for input and input services. Please bear in your mind, 18%, cement 28%, and capital goods as the rate applicable on capital goods as per rate notification. So you can read the similar provision under section 5 subsection 4 IGST Act. Now left out with the last subsection of chargeable section, section 9 subsection 5. Similarly, you can go back to IGST Act section 5 subsection 5. And this section says, for specified services, please, you have to listen all the word carefully. You have to listen all the word carefully. That's the reason I'm telling you, it is only for specified services, notified services, which is supplied through e-commerce operator. Then that e-commerce operator would be deemed as a supplier of service, and he will discharge all GST liability, like Oyo Room, Ola and Uber, Urban Clap. These are the services notified under section 9 subsection 5, and such e-commerce operator deemed as a supplier of service, and they have to comply with the GST law and discharge the GST liability. In case such e-commerce operator is having no presence in India, then their representative has to take registration and discharge the GST liability. If no physical presence and no representative, then they have to compulsorily appoint a person in India for compliance of GST law and discharging GST liability under section 9 subsection 5. So overall, I given the provision background of reverse charge method. Now I'm going to touch base now certain other issues, and then I will take the open issues one after another. Before I touch base, I want to check once again one part. This question you need to answer it now. See, I said the reverse charge notification. There are two more topics where you must know the rate as well. And why rate is important? Let me tell you, I'm a supplier of a particular service. Let's assume why that rate is important. For clarifying that, I'm creating this example. Let's say I'm supplying a particular service, and this is falling under reverse charge method. Reverse charge method. Let's say advocate giving services to a business entity, and it is beyond threshold amount, so as it is not exempted. So advocate giving services to business entity, it is falling under reverse charge notification 13/2017. But at what rate? What rate you will apply for discharging the GST liability. So it is important to know that what all goods, services are notified for reverse charge under section 9 subsection 3, but simultaneously it is also important to know what is the rate applicable on such goods or services which is notified under reverse charge liability. So when I say rate, question goes to you. If I talk about goods rate notification, so let's say there is specified goods, raw cotton, supplied by agriculturist to a registered person. It is falling under notification 4/2017. But what rate you will discharge? You must know the rate on that raw cotton. So for identifying the rate on goods, which notification you will look at? Please tell me. Which notification you will look at? Please tell me. I just want to check the answer in chat box. I am just trying to give gripping on the subject matter. Though reverse charge, so maybe you're saying rate, but I asked the notification number and Ritesh has responded. Lipika is responding. Mayank has responded. Yes. So still for goods, I'm not getting. See, now Rajat, you will agree and appreciate. Had I started with technical discussion without giving this background, then the topic should not have taken the shape which I wanted to draw.
Totally agree, sir.
Now for goods, rate notification would be 1/2017. 1/2017. So Sumit has rightly said that we have to identify first goods and services and a reverse charge notification. Then we need to know rate. For goods, 1/2017, and for services, write down the notification number. For services, write down the notification number. Yes, Rakhi, write down. Yes, I know that you have written 1/17 central tax rate. So Rakhi, appreciate it. Now I'm posting to all of you for services, which rate notification you will look at. So tell me. Yes, Sumit is saying, Mayank is saying, yes, all right. So everyone is now pumping. Amit, you have given wrong answer. See, lot many guys responding, but still I'm trying to catch who is giving right and wrong. It's 11/2017. 11/2017. Good, perfect. So you got 2 points. Clubbing now third point. Clubbing third point. Okay, look at it's a very well way. That is the way I'm looking that you should learn RCM today. Let's say I'm a supplier of goods or services. Assume hypothetically. And my supply, which I'm supplying goods and services, are exempted, are not chargeable to GST, are exempted. Now, please tell me, and this question I'm asking you, please tell me, if these goods or services, let's say falling under notification 4/2017 or 13/2017, but otherwise exempted with a reverse charge method applicable, if these notified goods or services are exempted with a reverse charge, GST liability need to be discharged by the recipient. Say yes or no. Say yes or no. So I have made the question different. So no, I'm not looking for notification number, please. Whether reverse charge applicable or not. That is what my question is. So still in the audience, I'm getting yes, no, both together. So look at our preparation. If goods and services are exempted, just look at the thumb rule. If goods and services are exempted then it is neither taxable under forward charge nor taxable under reverse charge. Simple. If goods and services are exempted, it is neither taxable under forward charge nor taxable under reverse charge. So when I said exempted, so maybe you have to look at like advocate giving services to business entity and business entity only 5 lakh rupees. So maybe it is exempted. If exempted, then also advocate service is not falling under GST liability, though notified service under reverse charge notification. Tell me, if you have to look at goods which is exempted, which notification you will look at? Which notification you will look at? Write down the notification number in your chat box. Write down quickly, faster. Which notification number you will look at for goods exempted? Okay. 2/2017 is 2/Amit. 2/2017 for goods. For goods. See, topic is only RCM. But when you connect it with from multiple angles, you start getting interest for the topic. When you look at services being exempted, under which notification? Tell me. Goods is 2/2017. For services exempted in GST, tell me which notification? Okay. All right. Now everyone is pumping in. 12/2017. 12/2017. Perfect. Now listen. Why I posted this query? What was the reason I posted this query? Listen to me carefully. And this is very, very interesting, very important. Listen now. Okay, pause. Well appreciated. All the friends are appreciated. So listen carefully now. Listen carefully. Why I created this query for you and why I'm telling you all these notification number you need to know. My friends, dear professional colleagues, you must be now drawing the analogy of preparation of RCM method. If I say that a GTA transporter, as we all know, GTA falling under reverse charge notification. We all know. But if GTA is exporting, let's say, some exempted goods, and I'm posting this query to all of you. If GTA is transporting, leave export. Transporting within India, leave export. Transporting exempted goods with a reverse charge method applicable. Say yes or no. RCM applicable. Transporter undertaking transportation of exempted goods. Tell me, RCM applicable. RCM applicable. So lot many saying yes, lot many saying no. This is what the interest. This is what the, I want to ignite your mind. That was the reason I was posting all these queries. Now, if listen carefully. Now listen carefully. Even GTA falling under reverse charge method, but undertaking transportation of certain specified goods, then that is exempted. No reverse charge applicable, no RCM. So unless you know the reverse charge notification number, unless you know the exemption notification number, you will not be able to conclude the matter. So if transportation of notified goods following exemption notification 12/2017, 12/2017, then even though falling under reverse charge, no reverse charge. That's the beauty of learning this RCM. So this was the first part of my overview. Now in that overview, I want to touch base some questions quickly and then I will take it further. For registration, we know that the threshold amount for supplier of goods 40 lakh rupees, provided intra-state supply 40 lakh rupees, and for supplier of service 20 lakh rupees. Whether you do intra or you do inter, 20 lakh rupees. This is a threshold amount. Now tell me, if let's say I'm recipient, I'm receiving some notified goods or services, even that is only to the tune of 2 lakh rupees, or let's say 100 rupees, only 100 rupees. Why 2 lakh rupees? Only 100 rupees, which is well below the threshold limit for the registration. Do this recipient require to take registration under GST? Tell me whether any threshold amount to look at for registration under reverse charge. If I have procured certain notified goods and services under reverse charge, do I have to look at threshold amount? See, someone saying yes, someone saying no, someone saying section 24. So next answer. Okay, I want from audience today, I want, we are almost, 900 plus audience now. What I'm looking for the audience, that when I conclude today, you will create one pager. And that pager, you must have noted down everything, right? You click up that pager. And you have to upload that pager on a particular number, which I will give you a little later. So at the end of my session, so that I can check each one of you whether you're really actively participating, doing something good. See, my question was, for reverse charge, do I require to look at any threshold amount? For reverse charge, it is compulsory registration. If you fall under reverse charge liability, Ubhas has rightly said. So Vaisali is also saying the same thing. For reverse charge, no threshold amount, compulsory registration. Now let me do one case study here. One trust fellow came up to me. Trust, NGO, like temple, they are having temple, big temple. They came up to me and they asked, sir, we are trust registered under section 12AA of IT Act, Income Tax Act. We are undertaking charitable activities, which is exempted in 12/2017. So what is charitable activities? And even spirituality, advancement of religion, spirituality, exempted. Now this trust posted a query to me, sir, do we require to take registration? So before I answer anything, I want you guys to make opinion for me. You have to make opinion for me. I charge 1 lakh rupees for this opinion. COVID-19 time period. Maybe you can imagine in invisible way that this money is going to your bank account. Okay, just like Rajat is laughing, I want you to laugh as well. Do this trust require to take registration? This is my first question. Say yes or no. Everyone is writing yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Now let me tell you, I will resolve. I will not leave you open-ended. I will definitely resolve. When I've taken up this open case study, I will definitely. What opinion I gave, when I charge 1 lakh rupees, then it is not a small time of work. It must be having some credential in the provision itself which need to be looked at. And that's the reason I'm asking you guys. Had this trust providing charitable activities as defined in 12/2017, exclusively only this activity, which is exempted one, exclusively, even not a fraction of it taxable. So exclusive 100% exempted supplies, then there is a separate provision. Section 23, subsection 2 clearly says, if you are engaged in exclusively supplying exempted goods or services, then no registration required. But I asked this trust fellow, boss, you have so many small shop inside the complex, which you let out. Are you charging rent? Answer came, yes, we are charging rent. I said, are you taking any services from advocate? Yes, we got 2 advocates who are fighting our income tax case. Are you paying some legal fees to them? Yes, we are paying legal fees to them. Now I'm posting query. I just created 2 examples for you. There may be n number of examples in n number way. Now this trust, whose outward supply is exempted, but inward they are taking advocate services. One of outward, which is renting of shops for commercial purpose, which is not exempted. Now, do they require registration? Their 99.5% is the exempted income. 99.5%. Then registration required. Okay. So Sanjeev, Bhavesh. So one advocate is responding back. All right, then registration is required. So giving opinion without knowing full fact is not complete. But I created this example for you. All right, pause. Moving to next topic now. Next topic, which is called time of supply. Time of supply for reverse charge method. Very interesting. If I say provision, you will be thinking what I am discussing here. It has got nothing to do. I am discussing very, in a very lucid manner so that you understand the meaning of this provision and practically you can apply. Let's assume I'm an advocate. I'm not registered in GST. My service is falling under notified services 13/2017. Unless you all become recipient. Those who are watching me become recipient. I want you to be recipient. Now this advocate who is not registered, giving services to you, it is under notified services. Now as a recipient, we can take today's date, 30th April 2020. Let's say I've given services to you today. If I say 30th April 2020, maybe some reference or provision will not get tuned. So let's say you have taken these services from me on 1st January 2020. Let's assume. So I have changed my example that you have taken advocate services, which is under notified services, under reverse charge method on 1st January 2020. Now being recipient, I'm asking you guys, to all of you, those who are watching now, by when you will discharge GST liability? There are 2-3 questions can come out. 2-3 questions. You are saying you got my invoice. you got my invoice on 1st January 2020, but you have hidden the transaction, you have not reported, kept under table. My first question to all of you, can you delay, can you postpone, can you delay or can you postpone your reverse charge liability to be paid on this transaction? Tell me. So Anirudh is responding to me. Yes, Anirudh, I've seen your answer. Even Harshit is also responding to me. Yupreet is responding. Sujata is saying only at the time of payment. So Sujata will make payment after 2 years. Then only she will discharge GST liability. That is the Sujata responding. And those who are not being able to answer in a big term, they are saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So, okay, all right. No need to pay. Uff, dena hi nahi hai. Okay. Next question. I will respond back to you, but let me ask you. You have not paid to the advocate. You have not paid single penny to me. I have raised my invoice on 1st January 2020. Still, you have to discharge GST liability. Next question. I'm asking, I will give you the provision. You have not paid my consideration of, let's say, 10 lakh rupees. To me, you haven't paid anything. You are thinking, jab Bimal ji ko nahi diya. If I have not paid to Bimal Jain, why should I deposit GST liability? I'm posting this query to all of you. Do you require to pay GST of such notified services for which you have not discharged the payment as yet? Tell me yes or no. Okay, Karan is very active, writing so many things. So quickly he's writing. Okay, Pankaj is also writing. All right, perfect. So looks like now this group is becoming more ignited. Okay, listen. Now listen the answer. I will give you the answer. Listen. Why time of supply provision is important? Time of supply provision is important because as per chargeable section, which you read under section 9 and section 5, it clearly says that we need to charge the tax, deposit the tax in a manner as prescribed. So for reverse charge, since I was talking about advocate services, I need to go back to section 13, subsection 3 of CGST Act, which is time of supply provision for reverse charge method for the services. It says time of supply will be earliest of to date. What are those to date? Being recipient, you are liable to discharge GST liability. So what to date you will look at, and which is earliest? The first date of payment to Bimal Jain, which you didn't do. You have not paid. Sujata was saying, no, I have not paid. I will not deposit GST. Sujata was saying something like that. So what time of supply provision say? Bimal, to date. Recipient making payment to the supplier advocate or his bank account debited. So maybe being recipient or bank account gets debited, whichever is earlier. So you are debiting your bank account. So then date of payment would be your debit date, whichever is earlier. So this first date of payment, which you didn't do. Second says date following the end of 60 days, 60, from the date of invoice or any other document issued by the supplier. So eventually when you don't make payment, then 61st day. So 1st January at 60 days, that date would be the due date for discharging GST liability under reverse charge method, irrespective of fact you paid to me or not. So this was time of supply. So second point connected. Come to the third point now. ITC, input tax credit. Under reverse charge method, when you can avail ITC. So I'm not reading all the provision for the benefit of all audience. If you want to read time of supply for goods, time of supply for goods, there are earliest of 3 dates, date of receipt of goods, date of payment by the recipient, or date following the end of 30 days, 30. So section 12, subsection 3 talks about goods, time of supply. Section 13, subsection 3 talks about time of supply for services. Now come to the ITC, input tax credit. So today's audience is the very learned audience. They know the provision. They're answering also. They're trying to respond back to my query also. We are almost 1 hour now, but the way we are going, it looks like it's going so smooth. I really want that kind of active participation from you. Active participation from you. When ITC available, my first question goes to all of you. First question goes to all of you. Can you avail ITC without GST payment? My first question. Can you avail input tax credit without payment of GST and the reverse charge method? Please tell me. So Sunil is saying, Piyush is saying, okay, oh, this time everyone is categorically saying, sir, credit is available only when you make payment of GST. Of GST. Now, one question I want to ask here. One question I want to ask here. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, pause, pause. Chat box, pause. Chat box, pause. So when you make payment, we have all categorically said, okay, all right, come. Okay. See, there are two suppliers. Now listen carefully. Here I want your attention. That's the reason I'm telling you. Here I want to draw your attention. So listen now carefully. Pause for the timing in a chat box. Listen. Supplier supplying notified goods or services. Supplier supplying notified goods or services under section 9, subsection 3. There may be a case that supplier is registered, but his supplies falling under reverse charge method. Listen very carefully. I really want you to listen very carefully. There is a supplier who is supplying notified goods or services, is registered supplier. Then in all probability, he must be raising tax invoice. Only he would be taking reverse charge method. He would be taking reverse charge method as if liability is under reverse charge method. He would be raising invoice because he is a registered one. But since it is notified goods or services, he's taking GST to be discharged under reverse charge method. Now you got the invoice from supplier. Being recipient, you got the invoice which states that this invoice is under reverse charge method. Now another supplier who is not registered, but he has supplied notified goods or services. So when he is unregistered, then it is implied he has not raised the invoice. But in both the cases, being a recipient, you need to discharge the GST liability. You need to discharge the GST liability. Now tell me, which document would be called a document for availing credit in reverse charge method for availing credit? When registered supplier raising invoice, ticking reverse charge method liability, unregistered supplier not raising invoice but still reverse charge liability. Tell me. Okay, some answers are coming in. Okay, perfect. Mayur is saying something like self invoice. Oh, great. So you Preet is also saying, Bidusi is also answering. Well said, well said. All right. Listen now. Listen. All right, payment voucher. All right. Rule 36, Subrule 1 of CGST Rule 2017. It says for availing credit for GST paid under reverse charge liability, the document would be which you have raised under section 31, subsection 3, clause F. Section 31, subsection 3, clause F. And somebody has said here self-invoicing. So when you purchase from unregistered supplier, there the condition under section 31(3) subsection F, being recipient, you should raise self-invoice. It may be consolidated monthly. Self-invoice to yourself. And then discharge the liability putting under table 3(1)(d) of GSTR 3B. Table 3(1)(d) of GSTR 3B, and take credit under table 4 of the GSTR 3B. So, same month, you are availing credit and you're discharging the liability. Possible, permissible, provided you pay. You can avail credit in the same month. And what would be the document? The invoice which you have raised, payment voucher which you have raised to yourself for a document which is generated under section 31, subsection 3, clause F. Now in ITC, one more point. Let's say I'm a supplier, and this very tricky question, and I've not received right answer when I have posted this query at different platform. So I'm posting to this audience today and looking for the answer. So that the audience can give me the answer. Look, let's say I'm a supplier. Let's assume I'm a supplier. I'm supplying certain goods under forward charge method, my certain supplies under forward charge method, and my certain supplies under reverse charge method. So for taking this example, I'm drawing one practical example. Let's say my total turnover is 100. Out of total turnover 100, 50% is my forward charge liability and 50 rupees is my reverse charge liability. My reverse charge means whatever I'm supplying on which my buyer, my customer will pay GST liability. So I will not charge GST. So I'm a person, I got 100 rupees turnover. On 50 rupees forward charge liability, I'm charging, collecting and depositing. On 50 rupees, I need not charge. It is my recipient, my buyer, my customer will discharge. And I got 10 rupees ITC, input tax credit. ITC, 10 rupees. In this example, when 10 rupees is ITC, common ITC, assume, common ITC, my total turnover 100, 50 rupees is my forward charge, 50 rupees my turnover falling under reverse charge, tell me what is the value of my ITC, what much, how much I can avail credit. Tell me quickly. I given very easy number calculation to you. I'm looking for the answer. Please tell me how much I can avail credit. Please tell me. Only 5. Yes. Only 5. Perfect. Those who are answering 5, they are right. Because then proportionally to the extent of my taxable supplies falling under forward charge, that is credit available to me. Now, having said all this thing, I have really given overview part. Now, what I will do, I'm going to have 3 case studies, 3 open case studies. Those are burning issues in reverse charge method. One is director fees paid by the company to the director. There's a recent advance ruling coming by Rajasthan Advanced Ruling Authority in Claycraft India Private Limited. I will discuss this one advanced ruling for reverse charge liability. I will discuss at length. You can just take down because I'm going to discuss 3 open issues. First. Second, whether SEZ unit, when you supply to SEZ unit or developer, and it is, let's say, notified goods or services, reverse charge applicable for SEZ unit or developer? Second question, open. And third, last date to avail credit, and this is $1 million question, adjourn date in the market. Last date to avail credit for 2018-19. We all know we are debating it as 20th October 2019. Whether this last date provision of section 16 subsection 4 is applicable for reverse charge liability. Maybe a 18-19 liability I'm paying now. Whether I can avail credit now. Section 16 subsection 4 last date criteria are not applicable. I'm going to discuss this open issue as a last item of my deliberation. So I've got 3 items which I need to deliberate as a open issues under RCM. If time permit, I will take GTA also. But now since my friend Rajat has got around with me and he want to make some presentation, a short presentation, you stay back with me on his Optotax, this particular software. Just see how they are providing ease of business with their GST compliance, ease of business. Over to Rajat. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, sir. आपने इतने अच्छे से सब कुछ समझाया. And so about Optotax, I think many of the attendees are already using that. But still, those of you who are not using Optotax, I will just give a brief about it. So Optotax is actually trusted by 20,000 plus tax professionals, and this is exclusively free for all the tax professionals. We don't charge for Optotax from anybody, from all the tax professionals. So whether you are a CA, whether you are an advocate or a tax practitioner, you can just install Optotax. And the good part is, since the work from home is going on, since the lockdown period is going on, so it helps you to work from home and you don't need to go to your offices. So जैसे आप Gmail चलाते हैं, the way you operate Gmail or Yahoo email, similarly Optotax भी आप अपने browser से ही चला सकते हैं. So it's not like you don't need any server or you need any desktop. अगर आपके पास laptop है, if you have a laptop, Optotax आप कहीं से भी चला सकते हैं. So it works on any number of systems. Any number of users can use Optotax, and you can use from anytime, anywhere. So another good part is from 1st July 2017 you will be able to see the data. So even if अगर आपने return कहीं और से file की है, let's say you have filed from your portal or you have filed from your other softwares, no worries, you can still see the data in Optotax from 1st July 2017. With respect to security, we have all the due respective approvals from the government, and we visited Ministry of Finance as well earlier, and the data is totally secured and you can use it सो अभी ऑप्टोटेक्स का अगर मैं आपको शॉर्ट डेमो थोड़ा सा दिखाता हूँ, स्लाइड्स में ही थोड़ा सा दिखाऊंगा. सो वी फोकस मोर ऑन रिपोर्ट्स बिकॉज रिपोर्ट्स इज समथिंग जो बाकी पोर्टल या कोई नहीं देता है. So there are only 8 reports in Optotex. Yes, only 8. We don't have 100 reports, and these reports are actually built from feedback. So जो भी feedback आपने दिया, whatever feedback you have given to us, we have noted down that feedback and we have prepared the report. If I'll show you a slide, तो अगर आप देखेंगे GSTR 2A. Now this is the major challenge right now. You cannot download GSTR 2A for the whole year. So we have given you GSTR 2A for the whole year in one single Excel. एक सिंगल एक्सेल में आप पूरा डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. And you can see for the whole year पूरा आपको डेटा दिखेगा irrespective of the number of invoices, whether 10,000, 15,000, any number of invoices. Second is the party wise report. So another feedback came is, sir पूरे साल का तो दे दिया but party wise we don't have party wise summary. So we have given you party wise summary as well. So on single Excel आप सारा पूरे साल का डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. It will give you how many number of invoices your party has issued. सब कुछ आप एक ही रिपोर्ट में देख सकते हैं. कमिंग टू रेट वाइज समरी. सो ये एक फीडबैक बहुत अच्छा आया था कि सर होता क्या है जब मेरे को बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट से मैच करना होता है मेरा परचेजेस, तो जीएसटीआर 2 में जो रेट वाइज है वो मैं नहीं मैच कर पाता. तो हमने रेट वाइज आपको जीएसटीआर 2 का डेटा दे दिया सो दैट यू आर एबल टू मैच विद योर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट. नेक्स्ट इज परचेज वर्सेस 2A रिकंसिलिएशन. ये बहुत ज्यादा फीडबैक आया था कि सर ऑटोमेटिक परचेज रिकंसिलिएशन कर दीजिए. सो वी हैव गिवन यू दैट यू हैव टू जस्ट इंपोर्ट द डेटा इन ऑप्टोटेक्स एंड इट विल डू इट फॉर यू. पूरे साल का रिकंसिलिएशन सर एक साथ हो जाता है, full year. Next report, GSTR 3P. So from 1st July 2017, you will be able to see the data in this Excel. Questions आते हैं सर PDF में क्यों नहीं देता है? I'll tell you one story. So Excel में जब कुछ भी चीज आ जाती है तो मेरा स्टाफ है, I remember बिमल सर भी कोमल का एक एग्जांपल देते थे. So I also have the same example. तो कोमल जब भी होती है तो वो कहती है सर एक बार अगर डेटा मेरे एक्सेल में आ गया उसके बाद आई विल पुट पाइवट, आई विल पुट फिल्टर, आप बस मुझे एक्सेल में दे दीजिए. सो सिमिलरली वी हैव आल्सो गिवन यू द होल डेटा इन एक्सेल. नेक्स्ट रिपोर्ट इज जीएसटीआर 1. सो फुल ईयर जितना भी जीएसटीआर 1 के इनवॉइसेस आपने कहीं से भी फाइल करे इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ फ्रॉम वेयर यू हैव फाइल्ड, वी गिव यू दैट. सो अभी क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं सर कैसे चलाना है, हाउ टू इंस्टॉल. मैंने आपके स्क्रीन पे ऑप्टोटेक्स का लिंक दिया है. आई हैव गिवन यू द लिंक फॉर ऑप्टोटेक्स ऑन योर स्क्रीन. इफ यू वांट यू कैन जस्ट क्लिक देयर एंड साइन अप. बहुत सिंपल, it takes only 2 minutes to sign up, and I'll also give you the phone numbers where you can get the demo. Charges sir, we don't charge from tax professionals. It is exclusively free for tax professionals and clients को नहीं देते हैं sir. So it is exclusively for you people, so you can use that. GSTR 3B and 2A reconciliation पूरे साल का again reconciliation, पूरे साल का, क्वार्टर का, मंथली इन सिंगल एक्सेल आप देख सकते हैं. सो दिस विल गिव यू एन एनालिसिस कि एक्चुअली आपके क्लाइंट के फर्म में चल क्या रहा है. एंड दिस इज द बेस्ट टाइम टू एनालाइज बिकॉज वी ऑल आर सिटिंग एट आवर होम. तो हम देख सकते हैं कि कहाँ पे क्या डिफरेंसेस आ रहे हैं. 3B versus R1 similar to 3B versus 2A. And the final report is ITC ledger. So ITC ledger में full year का आपको transactions दिखती है. Whatever amount you have deposited, whatever amount you have withdrawn, or whatever amount you have चालान जितने का भी बनाया आपको सब एक ही रिपोर्ट में दिख जाएगा. So these are the 8 reports which will help you a lot. And if I'll show you the screen, so screen बहुत simple है. ये screen है सर ऑप्टोटेक्स का. Similar है जैसे आप Google Chrome में चलाते हैं, Gmail चलाते हैं, वैसे ही ऑप्टोटेक्स का दिखता है. So on a single screen you can see 500 clients, 600 clients. You can add unlimited clients to your Optotax and it will show you on one single page. Another feedback which came is कि सर मेरे स्टाफ को मेरे को क्लाइंट बांटना, डेटा बांटना होता है, मींस काम बांटना होता है. How to do it? So we have created a user-wise summary also in Optotax. So you can segregate your work to your staff members and आप उनको, let's say अगर मेरी firm में example 100 clients हैं, so I can distribute 20-25 to each of the members of the staff members. The benefit you will get is उससे क्या होता है जब लास्ट डेट होती है 20 तारीख आती है तो 20 तारीख को आप एटलीस्ट यू विल आस्क द रिस्पेक्टिव पर्सन, भाई सिर्फ उस 25 क्लाइंट का बता दो व्हाट इज द रिटर्न स्टेटस. सो डेलीगेशन, अकाउंटेबिलिटी, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हम पढ़ते तो सब है बट अप्लाई नहीं करते. सो दिस विल हेल्प यू टू अप्लाई दैट. Final is the dashboard part. So dashboard, it is very helpful for all your clients. For full year, you can see the return status along with the year end number and date of filing and acknowledgement as well. एक ही screen पर सर आपको date of filing दिखता है, year end number दिखता है and acknowledgement दिखती है. पूरे screen पर सारा आपको दिख जाएगा. And GSTR 2A का JSON भी है सर. So let's say if you want to automatically reconcile with your Tally or some other software, you can download JSON file from here. And you can upload it to Tally for your automatic reconciliation. You can import data in Optotax from government Excel format, JSON file if you have, एंड टैली बिजी मार्क से अगर आपका कुछ डेटा है तो यू कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट दैट. सेटअप इज वेरी सिंपल. साइन अप करना है, जैसे अभी आपने लिंक पे क्लिक करके साइन अप कर लिया होगा, एंड यू कैन देन क्रिएट डेस्कटॉप शॉर्टकट. बट प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट, प्लीज ऐड ऑल योर क्लाइंट्स इन बल्क, बिकॉज देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू सी ऑल देयर रिटर्न स्टेटस. सर आप मानेंगे नहीं, मैंने देखा है एक एक फर्म में जाके आज भी ARN नंबर सर हाथ से नोट करते हैं लोग, और मे बी दे नोटेड इन वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट और समवेयर. तो क्यों करते हैं मेरे को आज भी समझ नहीं आता, अगर टेक्नोलॉजी आपको इतना हेल्प कर रही है. ऑप्टोटेक्स का सर यूट्यूब पे चैनल है, आप सर्च कर सकते हैं हाउ टू साइन अप, हाउ टू इंस्टॉल, एंड कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर मैं आपको अभी दे देता हूँ. सपोर्ट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, बिकॉज सपोर्ट नहीं है तो फिर कुछ नहीं हो सकता. इंडिया में एवरीबडी नीड सपोर्ट. सो वी हैव क्रिएटेड लाइव चैट सिमिलर टू जैसे आप व्हाट्सएप पे चैट करते हैं, सिमिलरली ऑप्टोटेक्स में भी चैट है, वहां पे आप पूरा चैट कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज ये नंबर्स हैं, प्लीज आप नोट कर लीजिए. सो वी हैव आवर कस्टमर सपोर्ट इन हिंदी, इंग्लिश, तमिल, तेलुगु, ऑल लैंग्वेजेस वी हैव, एंड प्लीज नोट डाउन द रिस्पेक्टिव नंबर्स. और मैंने अभी लिंक दे ही दिया है. somebody is asking charges. Sir, we don't take charges for Optotex. You can install it, and if you need any help or you need any demo, please call these numbers. And मैंने लिंक भी दे दिया Optotex का, आपके स्क्रीन पर आ रहा होगा, so you can install it from there. ऑल्सो आपको जान के सबको खुशी होगी, वुड बी हैप्पी टू नो कि बिमल सर भी अपनी फर्म में ऑप्टोटेक्स चलाते हैं, एंड आई एम रियली ग्लैड टू नो दैट. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि वो भी चलाते हैं. और कुछ भी अगर आपका फीडबैक हो, आई थिंक मेनी ऑफ यू वुड बी ऑलरेडी यूजिंग दैट, बट स्टिल इफ यू हैव एनी फीडबैक प्लीज मेरे को दीजिएगा. ईमेल आईडी ऑल्सो हैव गिवन. चैट में चल रहा है सर, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बताइए. व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप सर बिमल जी का हमारा सबका एक ही है. सो A to Z टेक्स कॉर्प का जितना अपडेट्स होता है वो ऑप्टोटेक्स में भी आता है, एंड ऑप्टोटेक्स का जो होता है वो A to Z में भी जाता है. सो वी आर ऑलमोस्ट अ फैमिली. फिर भी मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप का लिंक दे देता हूँ इफ यू वांट, बट पहले ही अगर ऑप्टोटेक्स इंस्टॉल करना है वो कर लीजिए, तब वो फिर लिंक ऑटोमेटिकली बिकॉज रिमूव हो जाएगा. And that's it, because I don't have anything other to show, any other thing to show. It's so simple, you can download your report. See, Optotex सिर्फ 3 काम करता है जो चाहिए. सर वो रिपोर्ट देता है आपको पूरे साल की, वो रिटर्न फाइल करता है, so you can file GSTR1, GSTR3B, GSTR9, and the final thing is sending reminders to clients. So सबसे important अभी जो है कि हमें clients को reminders भेजने होते हैं. So we are coming up with a feature, you can send reminders to your clients on WhatsApp or somewhere. And that's it from my side. बाकी तो बिमल जी है ही. Please sir, I would request.
So shall we start now then?
Yeah, sure. I'll stop this just a second.
I got 3 now.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So audience, back. 3 burning and open issues under reverse charge method. The first burning issues I've said, but in between I saw your chat box also. I was seeing that who all are writing what. Somebody asked me about that. What is the IGST implication on ocean freight in terms of Mohit Mineral judgment coming from Gujarat High Court? What is the way forward? I will try to make these open issues little, crispy, so that I can take up more and more open issues. But I will try to justify so that my crispy open issues are properly digested by you. So now, since you have seen everything, now shall I request all the audience to back once again the way we were doing before? Maximum half an hour left out for me. So you have to be half an hour with me, tuned with me for half an hour. Now, first, director fees paid by the company, whether GST leviable or not. So look, this particular topic, let me do this properly so that you can digest. There's recent advanced ruling coming from Claycraft India Private Limited. And in this judgment, it is being held that GST leviable on directors' remuneration. Now, I have different way to look at this particular ruling. See, if director is providing services to the company as employment contract, like whole-time director, and you're deducting TDS under section 192, which is salary, then believe me, no GST leviable. no GST leviable. For simple reason, entry 1, schedule 3, which clearly says services by employee to the employer in the course of employment is neither a supply of goods nor supply of services. Challenge before us, how to justify that this director is working in the capacity of employee to the company. First, the contract which is signed by director and company. Scoping of services. Its coverage under PF and ESI. And you're treating his remuneration as salary. That's the reason you're applying 192 for TDS deduction. Otherwise, you could have applied 194J, which you didn't do. You applied 192 as a salary. My conclusive view is no GST leviable. Then when GST leviable, next question. If it is not an employment contract and director are giving services to the company other than employment contract, like nominee director, independent director, part-time director, and you're giving meeting fees to them, and they are not in lieu of employment, you're applying 194J of IT Act as a professional services, TDS deduction. If it is not employment contract, then GST leviable. Question comes, forward charge or reverse charge? It is reverse charge under entry 6, notification number 13/2070. Reverse charge method, company has to discharge the liability. Third, let's take an example that I'm a director. I'm being paid 2 lakh rupees per month by a company when I'm giving services not as an employment contract, not under employment contract. So when I'm being paid this amount, 2 lakh rupees per month, then company need to discharge GST liability under reverse charge method. Adding further, if let's say I'm having commercial property, commercial immovable property, I let out the same property to the company, same company, let's say ABC Limited, and I'm being paid 3 lakh rupees per month as a rental income, then question will be whether GST leviable. Answer is quite yes, commercial property, leviable. Next question, sir, forward charge or reverse charge? Forward charge means as a director, I'm a supplier, I'm charging 3 lakh rupees per month. Total year becomes 36 lakh, more than 20 lakh threshold amount for registration. Whether it would be forward charge or reverse charge, answer is it will continue and to be under forward charge. It is not the services as director services in the capacity of director to the company. Next question, what happened? What happened for this advanced ruling which has come and creating havoc in the market? My answer, it is subject to appeal before appellate authority for advanced ruling. And maybe we can assume that appellate authority also decide in similar manner as being decided by advanced ruling authority. Then I'm of the view that we can go and file writ appeal before the High Court. Though you may say that under GST law, there is no appeal mechanism against the order of appellate authority of advanced ruling. There's no mechanism. But recently in one of the judgment in Kerala High Court, it is being held when advanced ruling authority or appellate authority for advanced ruling is not handling question of law correctly. And this is the case in the recent advanced ruling. I'm of the view that this Claycraft India Private Limited is not being correctly handled on question of law. Then this appellant, once they get judgment from appellate authority, if it is going negative, they can definitely go to Rajasthan High Court. And I'm of the view Rajasthan High Court will admit the appeal only because on the ground question of law is not properly dealt with. Next question you may ask, sir, what we should do? We are not the appellant. We are other party. Do we have any implication? To my mind, it carries the persuasive value, no denial. But it is not directly impacting to you. Advanced ruling judgment is relevant and applicable to such appellant who has gone for advanced ruling. But I'm of the view this may have persuasive value but not going negative to you. And if it comes to you from the department, rest assured you got lot of legal force to protect and conclude. If director is giving services as employee to the company in employment contract, 192 TDS is being deducted under IT Act, rest assured GST not leviable. And this was the case even pre-GST era under service tax and got settled also. Wherever 192 TDS is being deducted, directors' services are considered under employment contract, no service tax was leviable, same footing can be adopted in GST law. The first open issue. Second open issue. Second open issue is very, very interesting. And I would like to draw your attention. And this is very interesting. That's the reason I want you should participate with me. Section 16, subsection 4. What is the last date to avail credit? You know that for financial year 2018-19, annual return and GSTR 9C, 9 and 9C due date is 30th June 2020. And we all are struggling. What is the last date to avail credit for 18-19? Section 16, subsection 4 is important. But I'm discussing today now, you may have heard me on other platform that I'm of the opinion that last date will not be 20th October 2019. I given my reasoning also why it is not applicable. I sounded also. But let me touch base so that this audience who is listening me on this topic, because I want to draw from reverse charge perspective, with the reverse charge liability of 18-19 paid now, can I take credit? This is the point which I want to discuss with all of you. So listen very carefully. That's the reason I want your attention. First, what section 16 subsection 4 says that ITC is not available to recipient pertaining to invoice or debit note which is of 18-19, and the last date would be earliest of two date. What are the two date? Due date for furnishing return under section 39, which is GSTR 3B. I'm not going in a debate that 3B held as not a return under section 39 by Gujarat High Court. Now it is sub judice before Honorable Supreme Court. I'm not going to that debate. But 3B under section 39 of September following the end of financial year 2018-19. So September due date 3B is 20th October 2019. Or date of furnishing annual return of 18-19, which is 30th June 2020. Earliest up to date. So if there are 5 crore rupees for February and March 2019, you avail in December 2019, you may have got notices. Lot of notices are being issued to the taxpayer pan India. Department is saying if you have avail credit after 20th October 2019 pertaining to 18-19, you must reverse credit and reverse along with interest. This is the issue. You may watch my other videos wherein I've explained the subject matter and I've given my views that no, this is going contrary. And even the writ has been filed in Delhi High Court and other High Court, where notice is being issued to the revenue, but because of COVID-19, nothing is moving as such now. It is to be seen in time to come. But my question, my open issue was a little different. Let me come to my open issue now. If there was, let's say, some reverse charge liability, I discussed that advocate. Take same advocate example, who gave the services on 1st January 2020. Now you assume he gave the services on 1st March 2019. 2019. Financial year 18-19. Which you haven't paid to the advocate and you have not paid the reverse charge liability. Now, since this debate is going on that what is the last date to avail credit for 18-19, it's applicable for reverse charge liability. If I pay now reverse charge liability, can I avail credit? This is the question. So I'm posting this query to all of you and looking for the answer from each one of you. Please tell me, if reverse charge liability paid now of 18-19, credit is available. Say yes or no. Tell me yes or no. Yes or no. Okay. Lot many saying yes. Maulik is saying no. Aswani says no. Yes, no, mixed answers are coming out. Okay, look at me. Okay, all right. Perfect. I've seen that. Now I want you to pause. As per me, if you look at arm of the view, which may be subjective, but I'm framing my own opinion, that for reverse charge liability, I end up paying reverse charge liability along with interest because of time of supply provision. You haven't paid to advocate does not mean that your GST liability got done away with. It will continue to be, and it will be driven by time of supply provision. 61st day, time of supply. From then it was due. You didn't pay, you're paying now. So it is liable for interest. Point was whether credit can be restricted under section 16, subsection 4. Now look at me, what is my conclusion, and which you can see later. I'm telling you some provision also which help you to digest by yourself. See, there's a provision under section 31, subsection 3, clause F of CGST Act, which says, being a recipient, I must raise the self-invoice to myself. Self-invoice. If I have purchased goods, notified goods or services from unregistered supplier. So I must raise the self-invoice. 31, subsection 3, clause F. So I raise the invoice. When I go to rule 36, sub-rule 1, it says, Bimal, you can avail credit on following document, on following document, on following document. First, they say that you can avail credit on invoice raised by the supplier, under section 31, subsection 1 for goods, 31, subsection 2 for services. This is a separate provision. Another sub-rule says, Bimal, the self-invoice which you generated under 31(3)(f) for reverse charge liability, you can avail credit on that particular invoice. So again, this rule goes further and say, for import of goods, you can take credit on bill of entry. Bill of entry. Now, why I'm saying all this thing to you? Just to draw your attention. When this rule 36, which talks about documents to avail credit, has segregated the document. They say document raised by supplier as a normal supplier of goods or services, document raised by the recipient under reverse charge, document by importer of goods, document by ISD, input service distributor, meaning thereby this rule 36 is creating some departure. So the reference of invoice and debit note, which is given under section 39, this is assumed to be, to my mind, for a normal supply of goods or services. And I can also add here, if it is forward charge, normal liability, invoice raised by the supplier, then I should have taken credit on accrual basis. Need not require to be paid. Only 6 months criteria comes. So when I receive the invoice, I can take credit on accrual basis, irrespective of payment made. But reverse charge, even though self-invoice generated, but credit is not available unless paid. So some difference between forward charge and reverse charge. So to my mind, even though I raised the invoice, but that was condition that credit available only on payment. Hence, if 1819 liability invoice generated but not paid, which paid now, so my availing criteria satisfied now, hence credit is available. I hope I'm being able to clarify. I want to see in a chat box whether you really got it or not. You tell me in a chat box whether you got it right or wrong. Tell me yes, you got it. Tell me no if you haven't got it. I will repeat again then. Tell me in the chat box, yes, you got it. Say yes. Sir, quite understandable and logic is quite getting to our mind. That for reverse charge, yes. Okay. So maximum are saying, okay. So maximum are saying, okay. Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. Wait, pause. Dear friends, there are some of the guys, they wanted me to repeat again. And this is technical, which is being deliberated pan-India now. And divergent perspectives are coming out. For the sake of brevity, I'm taking 2 minutes more. Let me repeat again. so that, it will help to those who haven't got it. Just wait. Sugata, I'm repeating again. Listen carefully. I'm saying that Rule 36 is saying what are the documents to avail credit. And in that rule, they have said you can avail credit on invoice of your supplier. So when supplier charging GST under forward charge, like under 31 subsection 1 for goods and 31 subsection 2 for services. Listen very carefully, very carefully. And then rule 36 further says, Bimal, you can avail credit on your own invoice, which you generated under 31(3)(f, reverse charge method. Further says bill of entry for import of goods. Further says invoice of ISD. So I'm finding there are different documents prescribed for availing credit under rule 36. So whenever my supplier charging GST and they're under forward charge, then invoice generated under 31(1) and 31 subsection 2. But now differentiating for reverse charge invoice generated under 31(3)(f. Right? So I'm first getting the two kind of document they are referring to. So when I go to section 16 subsection 4 and they're referring invoice, then I'm finding when my supplier charge GST on forward charge, I can avail credit without payment. Only 6 months criteria, I need to make payment. But reverse charge, there is no such criteria. I can avail credit as and when I pay the GST liability. As and when I pay the GST liability. So I'm finding there is some difference of invoice generated by supplier and invoice generated for reverse charge liability. And second, I'm concluding, if my self-invoice under reverse charge, which I should have generated, if I assume 1st March 2019 is the date of supply of service of advocate, I have not generated. Or if I generated already but not paid the liability, credit is not available to me till the time I pay under reverse charge. So even though invoice exists under reverse charge, but credit not available till the time I pay, but forward charge credit available, 6 months window is being given to me. So I'm creating difference. So for reverse charge, there's the invoice available, credit should have been taken on that invoice provided I have paid the liability. Since I haven't paid the liability, credit not available. So credit would be available when condition of payment is satisfied. Hence, I'm of the view that for reverse charge, section 16 subsection 4 is not applicable. That is what my conclusion. Maybe we have a difference of opinion. And for reverse charge, you should be knowing that it never comes in two way. You plug the number. You plug the number. So I'm just, creating example and saying everything in totalistic viewpoint. Now, having said everything, since time is the porch, I cannot carry on, deliberating, but I given my thought to you that credit under reverse charge for 1819, why 1819, 1718 also you can avail on payment basis. But you have to pay interest for discharging reverse charge GST liability as per time of supply provision. And that interest would be loss. Having said that, now coming to the next open issue, SEZ. When I'm supplying to SEZ. Say when I'm supplying to SEZ unit or developer, it is zero rated under section 16 of IGST Act. Section 16 says my supply, I'm a DTA, normal supplier of goods or services. When I'm supplying to SEZ unit or developer, it is called zero rated. I can supply either on payment of IGST or I can supply without payment of IGST, but I need to execute LUT or bond. And then I go for refund of ITC, input tax credit. So being a normal supplier, I'm supplying to SEZ unit. It is called zero rated. Question starts from here. Now you have to participate here. Now 10 minutes more, and then we will reach to the conclusion part. If I'm a normal supplier, supplying to SEZ unit or developer, and let's assume that is notified goods or services. Let's assume notified goods or services. Notified goods or services. Then it is reverse charge liability. So this question is coming from all corners, and they are being asking me throughout, sir, whether SEZ unit has to discharge reverse charge liability. Do they require to take registration? Now to answer to all of you, please, SEZ are always considered as a free trade zone, free trade area. Now answer could be, answer number one, if I'm in Delhi, I'm a normal supplier, and my SEZ is also in Delhi. If I supply to SEZ unit, it becomes interstate supply, even though within same state, under Section 7, Subsection 5, IGST Act. It becomes interstate supply. And because of interstate, Bimal Jain has to take compulsory registration. If Bimal Jain take compulsory registration, where is question of reverse charge to be paid by SEZ unit? Where is question of reverse charge to be paid by SEZ unit? First argument. Second argument. Let's assume advocate giving services to SEZ unit, and both are in Delhi. Though it is interstate supply, but for sure SEZ unit will not, but for sure this advocate will not take registration, even though it is interstate supply. Advocate will not take registration. Now question comes, advocate in Delhi giving services to SEZ unit in Delhi. It is interstate supply, but advocate will not take registration. What happened in this case with the reverse charge in the hands of SEZ applicable? My answer to all of you, before I answer it, can I check in the chat box? In such case, with a reverse charge to be paid by SEZ unit, tell me in your chat box answer. Please tell me, chat box, quickly, yes or no, whether this RCM to be paid or not paid. Amit, Jinal, okay. Indrajita, okay. So many yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. All right. Come to a point. Come to a point. Not an issue. Not an issue. Those who have answered. If you're saying no, reverse charge in the hands of SEZ unit, is it not tantamounting that for the same transaction, reverse charge applicable had it happened in DTA? Had it happened in DTA, reverse charge was applicable just because it is to SEZ unit, an advocate giving interstate supply and not taking registration. You are saying SEZ need not pay the reverse charge. To my mind, SEZ can pay reverse charge liability and take refund thereof. Can discharge GST liability and take refund thereof. And that is called revenue neutral. That is called revenue neutral. You pay and take refund. So what we need? We need clarity from the government. Why then first instant SEZ is required to pay under reverse charge and then take refund? They may clarify like Form A2. Form A2, it was there in a service tax era, wherein SEZ was not supposed to pay. So maybe some form can be envisaged in GST to done away with this dispute of reverse charge to be paid by SEZ unit, because this is not the payment only, it's the registration and GST compliances. Coming to the last open issue, ocean freight. Somebody has asked me, some Gurinder who was there, I could see he asked me, okay, Gurinder was asking me, sir, why IGST? And what is the implication of this Mohit mineral case coming from Gujarat High Court? See, foreign supplier is taking services, okay? Foreign supplier is taking services from foreign shipping company and paying the freight. It is all happening outside India. Supplier outside India, recipient outside India, but by deeming fiction, importer of goods is being charged to pay IGST on that freight component, wherein importer has already paid custom duty on CIF value plus 1% assessable value. He has discharged IGST on ocean freight when imported goods. Again, he was asked to pay IGST on freight component separately. This was a debate in the court, and Gujarat High Court, Honorable Gujarat High Court, has given a lengthy 142-page judgment and says no GST can be levied on ocean freight. No GST can be levied on ocean freight once custom duty, which includes IGST, has been paid on CIF value. And it was held this provision of GST ultra vires. Now, what is the way forward? To my mind, this judgment which is given by Honorable Gujarat High Court, it to me looks like a very good judgment. I'm sure department going to file SLP in the Supreme Court against this judgment, which is not yet filed. They will look at this judgment and will take their own conscious call. But it is quite obvious why double taxation. Double taxation cannot be levied on the pretext credit is available. What happens if this guy is engaged in exempted goods? Then double taxation creates more cascading. So there are lot many reasons for this IGST component on ocean freight. It cannot be justified as credit is available, hence let's carry on with the double taxation. Even I'm of the opinion that this judgment will, I'm sure, going to sustain in the Supreme Court. I'm sure about it. Sure about it, it is going to sustain. But what happened in case you have paid GST, IGST on ocean freight, of which you have availed credit? If you have availed credit, then there's only working capital blockage. But if you are engaged in exempted goods, then you should file your refund claim. That would be my advice to you. Go and file your refund claim. And in case you got notices from the department, litigate the matter and rely this Gujarat High Court judgment Mohit mineral case. So I've done 4 open issues at length. We are almost just reaching 3-4 minutes left out. So I will try to see if something which I can answer on a query. But somebody was asking me, sir, in some of the webinar, I have given my number to all the audiences. So my mobile is now full. My mobile is full with a lot of, messages coming, keep coming since morning, pinging like anything. And they are trying my number also. Let me request you, like, you are also, passing your days. I'm also, passing my days. We all are loving and enjoying this passion. I will be able to answer your queries on WhatsApp, but very difficult for me to pick up a call, for so many calls keeps coming. You can WhatsApp, time permit, I will definitely respond you back. My commitment to you. Some Paras Khurana was there in the audience. I don't know whether he's there or gone. Was checking out whether my number is the same number. Of course, you can always send your good suggestion, feedback. You can appreciate in case you have liked the presentation also. In case you feel like, yes, you like my presentation, then of course it would be of my satisfaction. Of course, my same number which you said, Paras, but try to appreciate my position, that I'm also, within 24 hours deadline. I'm trying my best, whatever best possible from my side. So maybe for you audience, those who are still, sticking with and looking for, giving so much, I'm sharing my number. In case you're not having, you can also note down my number. Rajat knows my number, but nice, I'm helping to all you guys. You can always write back your word of appreciation, your constructive suggestion, your query as well. Time permit, I will definitely respond back. But in case I don't pick up your call, don't be annoyed. Feel like your brother is highly occupied. He's doing whatever best he can do this during COVID-19 time period, and giving so much open heart. And these opinions are free of cost, going free of cost to all of you. Okay, so take my number 98-106-04-563. So I given my number to all of you. Look forward that your feedback, suggestion, appreciation, constructive suggestion, and query. Rest assured, I will try my best to respond back with a time permit. But in case I don't pick up, don't take me other way around. Keep loving me. Your love is really important to me, because that's motivate me to do much better and better. And that's what I'm doing and trying at all time. Wishing each one of you, time is a pause. I wanted to take up some of the questions also, but your feedback, suggestion is so good, so nice. Can I just ask one question? Maybe we are left out with 500 plus audience. I'm seriously thinking, I need your answer. I'm seriously thinking to start one GST course during, I'm sure that this 3rd May again going to be extended in a phased manner. I'm really thinking seriously to start some GST course. What is your say? Should I start or no? Say yes or no, so that I can get the feedback from, with audience saying yes, maybe I would be happy that yes, I must start. Okay.
From my side, there's a big yes, always.
No, you're a good friend of mine, so you always say yes. I'm looking at other participants, those who are still on and watching me, what they say. If they're willing, then I must take up, because I was seriously thinking today that whether I should start GST course during this COVID-19 time period. At least I can do in a programmed manner, in a very customized manner, structured manner, so that it helps everyone. And this time everyone can participate. I'm getting all yes from everyone. So let's see. I will come back with my announcement on this line, but allow me to say thanks to each one of you for listening so carefully, patiently. Take care of yourself. Stay at home, safe, and fight with COVID-19. Together we will defeat Corona. Yes, God bless all of us. Thank you very much. Over to Rajat. Rajat, are you there? I do not know something wrong at the Rajat end, but let me convey once again from both of us, from Rajat and from my side. I'm thanking each one of you for the part of this today's webinar and your active participation. Thank you very much for your love and affection. That makes me really motivated. And kindly pass on positive messages. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter for regular update. Watch all regular videos which I'm uploading and with the content and wherein I'm discussing a lot of things. Even I created 2 video on YouTube channel, which is time to use COVID-19 time period, how to generate interest in GST. Lot many things are there from my side. Kindly subscribe to my all social media channel. Be in touch. And I always believe sabka saath, sabka viswas. Rajat is gone. I do not know something wrong at his end, but nevertheless, I'm taking this initiative to convey my vote of thanks to each one of you. Once again, my bestest love to each one of you. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.